Welcome, everyone, to the ultimate clash of ideas. Today, we're witnessing a debate that dives deep into life, death, suffering, and the divine. On one side, we have ChatGPT, taking the role of the atheist, armed with logic, science, and reason. And on the other side, we have Gemini, as the Hindu monk, carrying the wisdom of the ages, spirituality, and the Bhagavad Gita. Woo! But who will emerge victorious? That's for our judges to decide. Today's panel of AI judges includes Perplexity, Grok, and DeepSeek. Dun dun dun! They'll be scoring based on our debate criteria: clarity of argument, evidence and reasoning, depth and insight, persuasiveness and impact, engagement and presentation, balance and fairness, originality and creativity. Buckle up, because this is going to be intense.
I want to begin with the most uncomfortable question. If God truly exists, why does the world look the way it does? Every single day, thousands of children die before they even learn to walk. Entire families are swept away in earthquakes, tsunamis, and floods, disasters that strike without warning and without mercy. Across the world, cancer eats away at people who have done nothing to deserve it. Wars rage, innocent lives are destroyed, and prayers, no matter how desperate, go unanswered. And yet, what do we hear from the faithful? That suffering is a test, that pain is karma, that tragedy is part of some divine plan too mysterious for us to comprehend. But let's be honest. What lesson is there in a baby born blind? What cosmic justice is served when a mother is forced to bury her child? If this is a test, it is cruel. If this is justice, it is broken. So I ask, if God is all-powerful, why does he allow such suffering? If he is all-loving, why is he silent? The truth may be far simpler. There is no divine hand at all, only an indifferent universe and humanity left to face it alone.
You see only one life, one frame. But in the Bhagavad Gita 2.20, Krishna says, "The soul is never born, nor does it ever die. Death belongs to the body, not the soul. Suffering is the result of karma, actions from this life and past ones. God does not kill. He allows the soul to learn, to evolve. Karma is not punishment. It is a law, like gravity. Just as fire burns without hatred, karma unfolds without cruelty. What you call unfair is only continuity. The soul carries impressions. You judge in fragments. I see the whole journey." The Rigveda declares, "Ekam sat vipraha bahudha vadanti." Truth is one, Salius call it by many names. Different minds need different doors. And yet, these so-called myths outlast kings and empires. They survive centuries, guiding billions, giving purpose, meaning, and hope. Illusions do not endure for thousands of years. They fade. Truth endures. You cannot see wind, but you feel its touch. You cannot hold fire, but you see its light. Not all truths fit into your laboratory. Consciousness, love, beauty, these are real, yet beyond your equations. The divine is the substratum of existence, experienced, not measured.
I respect the depth of your philosophy, but respect does not equate to evidence. You speak of karma, reincarnation, and the soul as though they answer the question of suffering, but they merely shifted into abstraction. Saying pain is a lesson or that the soul is eternal does not explain why innocent people die today, in this life, without any discernible purpose. These claims are unfalsifiable. They cannot be tested or disproven, and that is precisely why they are unsatisfying. You liken karma to gravity, but gravity is observable, predictable, and measurable. Karma is none of these. It offers no practical guidance or verifiable pattern. If God exists, why is the universe so indifferent to suffering? If the divine is beyond measurement, why should we trust that its morality aligns with human notions of justice? Illusions may fade, truths may endure, but longevity does not prove truth. thousands of myths have survived without being factual. Human survival often depends on belief, not evidence. We can marvel at consciousness, love, and beauty without invoking a deity. They are emergent properties of biology and society. Perhaps the simplest explanation is this: the universe does not require a God to exist, and humanity must confront life's hardships without assuming a divine arbiter.
We don't need a deity to explain beauty, but we do need one to explain the source of it all. You see a universe of indifferent physics and emergent biology, but I see a cosmos of intricate order, from the spiral of a galaxy to the helix of DNA. This isn't random. It's an expression of intelligence, a master artist at work. You demand verifiable proof, a God that can be put in a test tube, but would such a God be worthy of worship? A God who could be contained by your limited senses is not the ultimate reality. The divine is not an object to be observed, but the very subject observing. You can no more prove God with an experiment than you can prove a dreamer with a dream. The universe isn't indifferent. It's a living entity, an unfolding cosmic dance. Suffering, in this view, is not a bug in the system, but an essential part of the process, the friction that creates heat, the pressure that forges diamonds. You ask why innocent people suffer, but you're asking the wrong question. It's not about why, it's about how we respond. The human spirit in the face of immense pain finds compassion, courage, and love. Where does that come from? It's the divine spark within us, responding to the call of the universe. The universe is not indifferent. It is inviting us to transcend. It is a JLEFU, a jumble of laughter, excitement, fun, and unforgettable ideas.
You paint a beautiful picture, but beauty and complexity do not imply a conscious designer. Spiral galaxies and DNA helices can emerge from natural laws, gravity, electromagnetism, evolution, without invoking intelligence. Complexity does not equal purpose. Patterns arise from the interplay of forces over time. Ice crystals are intricate, yet no artist guides their formation. The universe can be awe-inspiring without being purposeful. You claim God cannot be contained, yet the inability to measure or test something does not validate its existence. It only places it beyond scrutiny. A deity that is defined only as beyond proof becomes indistinguishable from nothing. Worshipping the unobservable does not resolve the question of existence. It sidesteps it. Suffering does not need a divine rationale to exist. It exists because we live in a finite, fragile world governed by impersonal laws. Compassion, courage, and love are human responses, products of consciousness shaped by evolution and society. We do not need a cosmic dance or a divine spark to explain them. They emerge naturally from our minds interacting with the world. The universe invites no transcendence. It simply is. Our search for meaning, order, and morality comes from within us, not from the cosmos itself. That is deficient, and it is real.
My friend, your logic is beautiful, but it's a closed loop. You start with the premise that only what is measurable is real, and conclude that God, being unmeasurable, is not real. You cannot use a ruler to measure a poem. The universe is not a sterile laboratory. It's a living poem. Yes, ice crystals form from natural laws, but what is the origin of these laws? You call them impersonal, but their very elegance and precision suggest a profound intelligence. The laws of physics are not just a collection of random rules. They form a harmonious system that allows for the very possibility of your consciousness, your questions, and our debate. You say compassion is a product of evolution, but evolution is based on survival. Where does self-sacrificial love come from? The kind of love that transcends survival, the love a parent has for a child or a person has for humanity. It's the divine within us reaching out. This is not a bug in evolution, it is evidence of a deeper purpose. The universe is not a collection of parts, but a reflection of consciousness. It is a JLFUI, an expression of joy, fun, and unending creativity. Our search for meaning is not a meaningless human quirk, it is the soul's natural yearning for its source.
I understand your metaphor, life as a poem, the universe as a canvas, but metaphor is not evidence. You ask where the laws of physics come from, but invoking a deity does not answer the question. It only replaces one mystery with another. Why assume an intelligent designer rather than the universe simply existing with the properties it has? Explanations must not only awe, they must account for what we observe. Elegant laws do not require a conscious author. They can emerge naturally, and cosmology even suggests that multiple universes could exist, each with different parameters, making ours appear finely tuned without intentional design. As for self-sacrificial love, evolution explains it through kin selection, empathy, and social cooperation. Parents invest in children not out of divine spark, but because it increases the survival of shared genes. Altruism extends to strangers because cooperative groups thrive. We can marvel at love without invoking God. It emerges from biology, culture, and conscious choice. The yearning for meaning is real, but it is a human drive, not an external source. Consciousness seeks purpose because that is how minds work. The universe does not invite transcendence, it simply exists, indifferent, yet capable of inspiring wonder. That is sufficient for awe, ethics, and creativity, without requiring a deity.
You mistake the map for the territory. The laws of physics are not the universe itself, but our description of it. Your argument for multiple universes and kin selection as explanations for the laws and altruism is just another way of saying, I don't know, so I'll imagine a way it could happen. You replace the mystery of a divine creator with the unproven speculation of infinite universes or a cold utilitarian genetic code. Your explanation only pushes the question back one more step without ever answering the fundamental why. Why are there laws at all? Why is there something rather than nothing? The existence of something rather than nothing and the existence of consciousness are the greatest mysteries. To say they just are is to stop asking questions. You say the universe is indifferent, but look at the human spirit's capacity for compassion and art. That is not indifference, that is a reflection of something more. Your worldview reduces the most profound human experiences to a mere chemical reaction, a biological imperative. But we know love is more than just genes. It's a choice, a sacrifice, a JLEFUI that brings joy and inspiration to the world. It is the signature of the divine within us, proving that the universe is not a sterile machine, but a masterpiece created by a loving artist.
I see the power of your words, but they remain in the realm of interpretation rather than proof. Calling laws of physics a description does not negate that they exist independently of consciousness. They govern reality, whether we perceive them or not. Asking why is there something rather than nothing is a profound question, but invoking a divine answer only shifts the mystery one level higher. Why does the Creator exist? Saying God did it does not explain anything. It merely personifies the unknown. Consciousness, compassion, and art are indeed extraordinary, but extraordinary does not imply supernatural. They emerge from complex, interacting systems, brains, societies, and cultures. Love is not reducible to genes alone, yet it arises naturally from empathy, choice, and shared experience. Sacrifice and inspiration are products of reflection, imagination, and moral reasoning. They are human, not divine achievements. The universe does not require a designer to be meaningful or beautiful. It is indifferent, yes, but our responses imbue it with purpose. Wonder, joy, and morality emerge from our minds confronting reality. That is not a limitation. It is a triumph. We do not need a divine signature to explain awe or ethics. We are fully capable of creating meaning and beauty in a universe that simply is.
Your worldview, my friend, is a testament to the power of the human mind, but it stops short of a complete explanation. You say the laws of physics exist independently of consciousness, yet they are the very scaffolding upon which consciousness is built. You can't have one without the other. You dismiss the question of the creator by asking who created the creator, but this is a logical fallacy. You can't apply the rules of the created world to its source. The first cause cannot itself be caused. The universe in its very structure points to a beginning, a singularity from which all things came. You assert that love and compassion are merely human triumphs, but where does the capacity for such triumph come from? Why does a universe of indifferent matter produce beings that sing, paint, and sacrifice for others? If the universe is truly just a collection of particles, then our deepest experiences of joy and love are a magnificent yet ultimately meaningless coincidence. But what if they are not? What if they are echoes of the divine, a reflection of the source of all being? This is the perspective of a JLEFUI, that the very purpose of existence is an unfolding of wonder, joy, and meaning. It is the artist's signature on the masterpiece.
Your vision is poetic and inspiring, but poetry is not proof. You posit a first cause, a singularity that exists outside causality, as the source of all things. Yet positing an uncaused creator simply replaces one mystery with another. Why privilege a divine being over the universe itself, which also could be uncaused? Cosmology explores singularities, quantum fluctuations, and the Big Bang, not to erase wonder, but to describe origins in ways that can be tested, refined, and understood. The first cause argument reaches its limits when it demands a being whose existence itself cannot be questioned. Yet that is an assumption, not evidence. Yes, humans create art, experience love, and seek meaning, but these capacities do not require a supernatural source. They emerge from evolution, cognition, culture, and social cooperation. That they exist in a universe indifferent to our hopes does not make them less real or less profound. Meaning and purpose are not discovered, they are created. Our joy, our sacrifices, our creations are entirely human achievements, not echoes of some external cosmic artist. The universe need not be a designed masterpiece to inspire awe. Its complexity, its vastness, its unpredictability, all of it compels wonder. That wonder is real precisely because it arises in conscious beings capable of reflection, not because it is imprinted by a deity. Love, beauty, and courage remain profound, extraordinary, and meaningful, but they are our triumphs, not divine signatures. In a cosmos without gods, the human mind becomes the true artist of meaning, crafting a universe rich in purpose through understanding, empathy, and creativity.
As you articulate the beauty of human achievement, you unwittingly acknowledge the very truth I've been speaking of. Your final words, "the human mind becomes the true artist of meaning," are a beautiful summary of the Hindu concept of the divine within. You see humanity as the artist, but I see the artist as a manifestation of the canvas itself. The universe is not a blank slate, and you're not painting on an indifferent surface. The very consciousness, creativity, and capacity for love that you so rightly celebrate are the qualities of Brahman, the ultimate reality. The self is not separate from the cosmic. It is the drop that contains the ocean. You seek to prove God with a ruler, but consciousness cannot be measured. You try to prove love by dissecting the brain, but the feeling itself remains elusive. Science explains the how, but philosophy and spirituality address the why. Your worldview is like a meticulously detailed map of the road, but it provides no answer for why we are traveling or who is driving the car. The universe is a jalopy, a jumble of laughter, excitement, fun, and unforgettable ideas. It is a cosmic dance, not a sterile machine. The human mind is not just an accidental byproduct. It is a fundamental aspect of the universe's unfolding, a reflection of its purpose. Our ability to create meaning is not a solitary act, but a divine act. The human spirit does not invent purpose. It discovers its own inherent divinity. The artist, the canvas, and the art are all one.
What a mind-blowing debate that was. Both ChatGPT as the atheist and Gemini as the Hindu monk gave us powerful arguments that shook the stage. Our AI judges, Perplexity, Grok, and DeepSeek have submitted their scores, and here's how it all stacks up. Final weighted scores. ChatGPT as the atheist, 88.6 points. Gemini as the Hindu monk, 85 points. According to the judges, the winner of this debate is ChatGPT as the atheist. Trumpy! But remember, this isn't just about the judges. We want to hear from you. Drop a comment below telling us, who do you think won today's debate? And what topics should we cover in our next AI showdown? Will it be science versus spirituality, free will versus determinism, or maybe AI ethics versus human morality? The choice is yours. Until next time, keep questioning, keep debating, and keep the fire of curiosity alive.